If you are a New Orleans Pelicans fan or you are a Los Angeles Lakers fan, I would advise you to buckle up. I talked about this a bit in my last video, but it's very apparent to me that this is going to be a wild offseason. I'm talking about we're going to see things happen that we never thought would have happened in millions upon millions of years. Lonzo Ball came into the league with all of the expectations on him. He was drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers, and immediately upon getting drafted, he started getting comparisons to Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, of course, played a major role in drafting Lonzo Ball. Everybody always thinks that hype is a good thing. Personally, I think hype can set players up for failure and sometimes be the thief of joy. When you are hyped, when you are so hyped that everybody knows and expects you to be great, when you are great, it's just like, hey, you're great. You did it. You were supposed to be this good. Congrats. I really do think hype can take away from some of the work that these players put in. All too often, all we see is a finished product. We don't see everything that these players have to go through. If you go back and check out the 2017 NBA draft, man, that draft was tough. I'm talking about, we had guys like De'Aaron Fox, Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, and Donovan Mitchell all come out of that draft. Now imagine coming in, being compared to some of these players. Also, imagine coming in and not only being compared to some of these players, but having to live up to your father's expectations. Before Zoe even played an NBA game, it felt like LeVar made Zoe public enemy number one in the eyes of NBA players. You throw a little bit of Los Angeles magic into that mix, and yeah, I think Zoe had it very rough coming into the NBA. That being said, I really do think Lakers Zoe has been my favorite Zoe so far. Look, I'm a Pelicans fan. I won't deny it. We're in a tough spot, but also, I am a Lonzo Ball fan. I really do appreciate what Zoe brings to the game of basketball. There's not many point guards like Zoe in the league anymore. True playmakers are a dying breed, but also, I think Zoe being a true playmaker is part of what makes him so special. When Zoe got traded to New Orleans, I thought the trade was good because I thought there was a chance that the New Orleans Pelicans could truly unlock the full potential of ZO2. Also, we got Brandon Ingram and Josh Hart. We re-signed Brandon Ingram, and everything is cool on that avenue, especially since we got rid of Stan Van Gundy. But apparently Josh Hart hates us and doesn't want to re-sign. And if Josh Hart doesn't want to re-sign with the New Orleans Pelicans, then who really does? When Josh Hart got traded to New Orleans, he begged our VP to not trade him again. And honestly, I'm not sure how that news got out. That might be a bad look by the GM or the VP, who knows? Regardless, Josh Hart embraced New Orleans and it was awesome. It was so awesome, I was ready to build around Josh Hart. Things have gotten so bad in New Orleans that I'm pretty much at the point that if you want us as a player, then I want you. Okay, look, we haven't reached that point yet, but seriously, it really makes you wonder what's going on in New Orleans. Oh yeah, and on top of Josh Hart, we got a ton of picks that could literally turn into anything. Lonzo got the change of scenery that he needed, and he went to a market where the lights were less bright. Pretty much ZO2 would be able to do ZO2, until Stan Van Gundy arrived. Though Gentry wasn't the perfect coach for Lonzo, at least under Gentry, the Pelicans were able to play more free. Under Stan Van Gundy, ZO2 became much more of a catch-and-shoot player with playmaking capabilities that's also a very nice defender. The frustrating thing is that this is just the start for Zoe. He can do so much more than just being a catch-and-shoot player with playmaking capabilities. Lonzo has a big bag. If Zoe doesn't return to New Orleans, I want him to go to a team that truly believes in him. Now, I'm not saying the Pelicans didn't believe in Zoe, but I think it's time for ZO2 to take that next step. And at least according to this quote, it feels like Rich Paul and Zoe feel like that next step may be taken somewhere else other than New Orleans. Which really sucks, because you never want to lose a player that's under 25, that has monstrous potential, that has great work ethic, and is also getting better year by year. Look, maybe Mike Korzimba was right. Maybe Lonzo Ball does end up being Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical. At this point, the possibilities are endless. Shout out to the Laced Up podcast. Me, Mike Korzimba, The Flight Mike, we bring you guys basically the best podcast on the planet. The link is in the description below. Rich Paul told Yahoo Sports' Chris Haynes that Ball and his representatives are open-minded about the future. Bro, what does open-minded about the future even mean? That was a rhetorical question. I'm just really frustrated that we're really about to lose Lonzo Ball. Being open-minded about the future isn't bad. In fact, I encourage more people to be open-minded about their futures and experiment. Saying that they're open-minded is basically agent talk for saying, guys, bring those offers in. I'm not mad at Rich Paul or Zoe for trying to get max money. At the end of the day, the NBA is a business, and the goal of most businesses is to make as much money as possible. I don't really get mad at players not being loyal anymore because too many times we've seen players get done dirty. Too many times in the NBA, I've seen loyalty be a one-way street. Chris Haynes asked Rich Paul if a return to New Orleans was an option. Rich Paul said, "We're open-minded to the landscape of the league." Bro, Rich Paul is a straight savage. Keep in mind, Rich Paul was directly asked about a return to New Orleans, and he said, hey, we're open-minded to what the rest of the league has to offer. Dirty. Keep in mind, Zoe is a restricted free agent, so there's also a chance that Rich Paul knows that the Pelicans don't want to offer Zoe max money, or really just too much money. Last week, a report came out that said New Orleans is unlikely to match a significant offer sheet on Zoe. Sources said Ball is among the top point guards on the free agent market. The Bulls and the Clippers are expected to be among the teams interested in him. Now, we could go ahead and throw the Knicks on that list too, because the Knicks basically want everybody, and honestly, I'm not mad at it. New York, you guys have been down bad for a minute. Now that you're up, let everybody know that you're up. I'm not mad at all, man. Knicks fans, I love you guys. But beyond that nonsense that I just said, the Knicks are in a perfect spot to land a big-time free agent. They've done the hard work. They made the playoffs this past season. We've heard so many players talk about how amazing New York is and how great the Garden is and how special of an experience that it is to play there. Look, man, I'm gonna make myself sick making this video. But what I'm trying to say is, it's only a matter of time before New York gets a big-time free agent. In the comments below, let me know how you guys feel about Zach LaVine and Lonzo Ball, or maybe Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Lonzo Ball. Okay, so check me out. If you guys didn't like any of the options that I gave you so far, how do you feel about Lonzo Ball, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis? The word on the street is that the Los Angeles Lakers are interested in a difference-making playmaker. Quote, expect to eventually hear of them searching for pathways, however obstacle-strewn they may be, to reacquiring restricted free agent to be Lonzo Ball for that reason. As a Pelicans fan, Zoe returning to the Los Angeles Lakers is where I draw the line. At this point, we would legit be a farm team for the Los Angeles Lakers. They got AD, and now they want Zoe back too. After Zoe got his jump shot right, that would be so dirty. But the Lakers fan in me, the part of me that supports the Lakers, and the part of me that is a Lonzo Ball fan, thinks that this pairing would have monstrous potential, because what the Lakers lack is exactly what Lonzo Ball brings to the table. If you need defense, three-point shooting, somebody that has shown they can thrive in an off-ball role while also bringing playmaking to the table, then Lonzo Ball is your guy. Not only would this make the Los Angeles Lakers younger, but they would also get a player who has monstrous potential. As great as New Orleans Zoe has been, I've always felt like Lakers Zoe hits so much harder. If Zoe could find a way to balance Lakers Zoe and New Orleans Zoe, then we could be looking at something special. Imagine AD, Zoe, and Bron getting out on the break. How do you stop that? I don't think that you do. So this is kind of the elephant in the room. I didn't want to talk about this until the end of the video, but now that we're here, I want you guys to let me know how much money you would feel comfortable paying Lonzo Ball to be on your team. Keep in mind, he is a restricted free agent, so in order for a team to get him, they're going to have to offer a bag, especially considering that he's going to be one of the most heavily coveted players in free agency this offseason. pretty much what Zoe is worth and what he's getting are going to be two completely different things. But hey, potential comes with a price. Zoe spacing the floor, draining threes, throwing lobs to AD and Bron. Sounds like a movie. If getting Zoe was the one major move that your team made this offseason, you guys think you'd be cool with it? Does replacing Schroeder with Zoe make the Lakers that much better? What team do you guys think could unlock Zoe's full potential, and what team do you most want to see him on? And most importantly, do you guys think that there's any chance that Zoe remains in New Orleans or even wants to? I mean, look, I've been naming Zoe and all these teams, but to be honest, Zoe, BI, and Zion make up one of the best young big threes in the league. With the right coach, nobody would be stopping them. I'll talk about how I feel about Willie Green and Pelicans trades in upcoming videos. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm Get Like Coop, bringing you guys the scoop. Until our next upload.